that the testimony I have come to give to the TRC of Liberia is the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Please be seated. Henry, welcome again.
Thank you.
The full panel of commissioners are here to listen to your contribution to this process of truth-seeking, reconciliation, and peace building. We are happy that you could take off your time to come and share your experience with us.
Thank you.
Before you proceed with your testimony, can you say whether or not you live in Zwedru?
I live in Zwedru.
You live in Zwedru?
Yes.
What do you do on a daily basis?
Well, I'm the overseer of a local NGO here in Nafat.
What's the name of the NGO?
National Foundation Against Poverty and Disease.
Okay, you're the local overseer.
Yeah.
Your date of birth, please. Date of birth?
November 1st, 1961.
Okay.
All right. I can start.
Commissioner Stewart, Jerome Fredia, Dede Dorope, Gerald Coleman, Omon Sila, Sheikh Kafumakone. Please proceed.
Thank you. It was in 1990 when the war was raging. I think, if I can recall, September 9, when Doe was captured. And so we were civilians around the BTC. So I was leaving my house, going to the BTC to see what was going to be the next action of the AFL when I was put at gunpoint by one AFL soldier. He said, "Are you a crime man?" I said, "Yes." He said, "But why are you not in the army?" So I said, "I'm not trained to gun, my brother. I just walk into the barrel to know." He said, "Oh, but everybody leave you. If you don't have gun, then you will not go." Fortunately for me, when I got to the barrel, he said, ECOWAS was evacuating people. At the time, the 3 trucks had come and gone. So I said, okay, when the next trucks come, I think I'll make my way. And so when they brought the last 6 trucks, I told my late cousin, I said, "We have to go." He said, "Close." I said, "Let's just go." Not knowing we're leaving the heat and going to the fire. So when we left and got to the port, we were told to form a long line by the ECOWAS we met. And so they took us straight to the LPMC warehouse. 2 warehouses were occupied. Late in the evening around 6, we saw a convoy of soldiers from the INPFL headed by Prince Johnson. He came and stood over the car. He said, "I'll raise a song and please sing this song along with me." But then the song meaning was, what you used to do before, you will not do it again. And my friends were singing. I said, "I don't know what I used to do before, so I'm singing the kind of song." And so we were there. Then, alas, he said, "Tomorrow will come. Those that were fighting in town, we will take them to go join us to fight the NPFL." So when he left, it was my first encounter with the late Sam Tode. He was then housing president, national housing president. He left, he called me, he said, "Labour, what we came to do here?" So I said, "Oh, the people said they were evacuating us, but unfortunately we came and said, you didn't find ship around." I said, "The thing you see park over there, like a gunboat." So he said, "Okay, but," and when he came, the Guineans that were guarding us all fled the place. Even when I saw the crew, I was trying to go hide in the bathroom. I saw the other man outside. I looked through the Colombo. I saw the other man with the sisters. So I didn't know the people. If they came to shoot, then let go sit down inside. So they left. The next morning, he got to the place at 10 o'clock. When he came with 2 pickup, 1 bus. He came with a late Larry Mitton. He was one of those I could remember that were with him. He came, he said, all those that were fighting for the AFL will carry them. So everybody got afraid. They started taking people. They took the late Sam Tode, they took the late Peter Thomas. They took close to 55 persons from the 2 warehouses. And so we said, what is this? So he took that group, and up to today, we can't see any one of them around. Even there was a fellow sitting close to me, or Mandingo fellow, when they said, "Get out," he said, "No, I'm Mandingo me a crime." He said, "What are you looking for? So get outside." He went to the door and sat down. So he like God just told him, said, "Don't go there." He said, so we were there. one general gave from the Gambian contingent. He came and we started explaining the story. So I said, for me, I can't stay here, better get in the street there, and if I'm killed in the street, then it's okay. But when I stay here and you open a way and the man will come and be collecting us in bundles. So he said, okay, I'm going to meet General Quino. He met General Quino, what they discussed, what they didn't discuss. General Quino came back with Prince Johnson, and Prince Johnson told him, say, look, these people are not moving anywhere. If you let them move, I will hold some of your soldiers hostage. He said, yes, sir. And Prince Johnson left. So that evening, one lady, child caught cholera. And there was nobody to tow the child. So I said, oh, my God, tow the child because I was looking for my escape route. That's how we went to the ECOWAS hospital while they were treating the child. I found my way out of the fence and went to where the Sierra Leone was seeking refuge. There was a labor there when I used to play basketball. They used to admire us. So he saw me. He said, oh, because I spent all my time in Nima. So he said, my man, all you friends with Prince Johnson, some of them will tell her, what are you doing? So I said, no, I live in Clarendon, but the shootings. So I now able to go to Clarendon. He said, okay, let me carry you to one of my friends. That he carried me to that friend. I stayed, but I was not comfortable with the place. So in the morning, somebody started raising a alarm. Who the men that came inside there last night? It was around 4 or 5, because around the port area, there were no sleeping. People in the port looting. And so when the guy raised the first alarm, somebody asking again, who is that person? I just got up and walked out of the place. Really, I didn't know where to go because there was a checkpoint in Vartown. They were killing people. And so I started traveling. But then my son man was across. I didn't know the mean place she was living. So I go have it. I was walking. When I went to Beaumont Bridge, she came to buy sugar. When she saw me, she was very surprised. And she too from Nima. So when she saw me, she said, oh, you're not spirit? So I said, I'm not spirit. I said, they brought her to the port, but they killed a lot of people, so I escaped the port. She said, okay, let's go to the house. Now where they lived were these fighters, so when she took me somewhere and told the guy, I can give you the food, I can give you anything, but let the man stay here. So the guy said, okay. I was there for 1 week. Now the old man who owned the house left the bush and his daughter died from cholera. So everybody escaped that night from the woman. So I said, oh man, I will dig. He said, oh, I said, I will dig. But my first time touching David anyway. So I went and dug, and so the hole stopped me because it was in the swamp behind the house. So I said, oh man, the hole is all right. He said, okay. Went and buried the girl, buried the lady because she had 5 children. So he said, what we'll do is that there's a room here, you can bust the door and sleep there as long as you will be across here, because what you did for me, I didn't expect it. So I said, okay. The fellow who went up that I went to now, he, started looking for, because he had a girl, he wanted them to spend time together, so I was embarrassing. 5 minutes, you say, my man, people pass it looking for crampo. They are staying the whole day. In the night, you say, oh, my man, you can't go around. You're supposed to be walking around. All people listening. At one point, there was one INPFL fighter that was closer to the place. When he loot from the port, he would bring the money. He said, man, I can't check my money. I'll be checking the money. So he made a statement and let it, man. So they were discussing and I heard it. So when I said, David, boy, the way you're talking is not right. He said, oh, my man. But I only think, you got to be walking around. So I said, my man, I told you I didn't even grow up in Grand Gita. And besides that, I tell you that I don't in the country, a lot of people know me. So even you and myself on the street, now if we pass by 10 persons, 2 persons will know me. So I don't want to go on the street. He said, all right. He went and programmed one guy they call Josephus. He's a big fellow. Josephus came one time and started telling him, man, you're taking risks. You're keeping your crown man, and the crown man being okay, the people in the whole house. I called my son, man, I told her, she said, oh, for true. I said, one pastor girl there, then she said, go to Boston, because the people that do Boston school have been saved taught by Taylor people in Ghanansville. So when you go there, they will not be looking for crown man there. I said, okay. Well, when I got to the place, one man saw me, he said, he was the head of the place, he said, my secretary. As secretary, now, how do I go to Prince Johnson based our friends? So when he say, let's go to Prince Johnson, I said, oh man, my stomach, my stomach can be running there. One day he looked for long, he said, okay, my son, I know what you're talking about. So this time, just be in the office and be ready, because when people die, they will come to us and we show them where to bury. were on that thing until a friend came to me one day and said, man, you will die here because the road is clear. That time, I'm not even seeing that freeway for more than 3 weeks. He said, the road is clear. I said, don't tell me that. He said, the road clear. Even your sisters are asking for you in there, but somebody told me they saw you in Boston here, but they didn't reach you. That's how I went and left and got on the road. By the time we passed 2-3 persons would know me. My friend, hello, where you living? You know, and I went through and went back to BDC. When we got to Johnson Street, you know, Johnson Street down the hill, there was an AFL checkpoint there. When I got there, the guy said, hot. So I said, what happened? He said, like, you people went to John Prince Johnson, you're coming back home. So I said, fine, that the place I want to die. He said, why? So I said, when you kill me here, it'll be very fun. So just tell me where you going to kill me, so I will stand there. I said, because if I were to get killed across, most people would not know. But right now, if I drive here, maybe my sister will pass here, they say, okay, our brother died. That he put 2 guys on me, he said, you're carrying him to the beach. When we were going, my cousin car was coming from, you know, UN Drive, right in front of BDC. When he stopped, he said, what are people carrying you? They said, no. The man said he knew people in the barrel. I said, no. So he caught them. I just told him, I said, leave them, let them go. And so that's how I went back to BDC. But actually, it was a terrible thing at the port that I saw. That's the end of my story.
Thank you, Henry.
Yeah, thank you.
For sharing your experience with us. You escaped out of a near-death situation, and to be alive and speak for most of those who didn't make it, especially in the port during those days, is the best you can do to memorialize their being and then to shed light on what transpired so that the TRC can understand very well what was happening, and that all of us will understand the truth of the operations of these factions, especially at that time across the bridge and at the barracks. Commissioners will ask you questions. And to start with, I want to go back to the port and how you guys were treated. Were some of the people there killed at some point in time? I heard you saying a few of them were adopted, were taken away and never returned.
Yes, they were killed. They were killed because according to the story, they didn't even reach them to the Corway base. They were killed right at the Southern Creek Bridge, from what we heard, because they were taken that very day and carried. And that we could, since the war ended, we are not seeing any of them.
Can you go over those names again? You call some
prominent among them were Peter Thomas, one police man. He was one of the big men in the police force, and the late Sam B. Tode, the housing president.
Sam Tobe, right?
Tode. Yeah.
So that's all you can remember?
Yeah, that's the other people I can remember from our side. Because, I mean, it was not only our group of people, you know, there were a whole lot of people, because people were trapped to the place there, you know, and that was the only way they could get out. So when they came, in fact, it was Larry who was saying, the people say, I'm the only person that can overthrow those, so I know all those who were lying on me, I would take all of them. And he started, you know, pinpointing people, and they were just taking them out.
Did you gather the sense that they were going to kill those people from the way they took them out and all of that?
Well, for me, I knew they were going to kill them, because the trick was not only done once. He came to the barrier and came by. He got friendly with Doe, and later Doe was killed with over 40 men. And so to see Doe King's men pack on a plane and say, you're going to help me to fight, I knew it was not a true story.
Okay. Thank you. Sheikh?
No question. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. So the people they collected, and they were all men, the 52 person they carry?
They were all men.
They are all men?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Did you say there was a second bus that came by for more people?
Yeah, at that time, I've left the port, but I got a friend called Tommy Sue. They came and collected in fact, majority of the people, this time they were women and children to carry. 2 buses. So when they carried in that time, there was this transition between Dongoyaro and General Quinu. Quinu was leaving and Dongoyaro was coming in. So when Dongoyaro heard it, through the same Mayor Gay, he went and someone preached at the port that when he told him that if you don't bring those people back, you will not leave from here. And so they were all brought back safely. The second group.
Okay. So clearly your focus is that the first group of 50-something people were slaughtered.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for now.
Thank you very much, Henry,
Thank you.
for throwing light on things we have heard in circles and rumors, but not as from a living witness. Can you remember the date on which this happened? I know that the 9th of September, the late President Doe was taken from the port.
Yeah, and he was killed on the 10th. We left on the morning of the 11th of September. It happened on the 12th. The first group of people were taken on the 12th.
You left BTC, you mean?
We left BDC on the 11th. Then the 11th night, he came, but he didn't carry anyone. The 12th, he came and took those people away.
How did you leave BTC to get to the port?
It was the ECOWAS soldiers that said they were evacuating us to take us from the country. And so they carried the first 3 trucks and they filled them and brought them to the port. Then they went back with another 6 trucks. One of the trucks are boarded to come to the port. So when we got to the port, they directed us at the LTMC warehouse, where we were posted and were guarded by Guinean soldiers. But by the time Prince Johnson arrived, they were all escaped.
Now, this was after Doe had been killed, right?
Yes. Immediately after Doe was killed.
Who was the ECOWAS officer in charge at the time?
General Quino.
And you remember who was? You talk about one captain.
One Mayor Gay. One Mayor Gay. He's from the Gambian contingent.
A tall black man.
Yeah.
Modu Gay.
Yeah, I think that him.
And
I don't know his first name, but he was Mayor Gay.
And he was the one who told you that they were going to evacuate you people from Liberia?
No, he didn't tell us. But after the trucks went and we came and nothing happened, he came to listen to what happened to us.
Oh, then after that, then he took the report
to General Quino. Yeah.
And what was General Quino's reaction?
General Quino did not react. After they took the complaint to him, he came with Prince Johnson, and Prince Johnson told him in our face that these people are not leaving from here. They will stay here. So if you allow any of them to escape from here, I will hold your soldiers hostage. He said, yes, sir.
He said, yes, sir, to Prince
Johnson?
Yes,
to Prince Johnson.
Did he salute Prince Johnson? Or yes,
he didn't salute. He didn't salute. He just said, yes, sir.
And when this was on the 11th, you said?
Mm-hmm.
And
no, on the 12th.
On the 12th?
Yeah. No, on the 11th. Yeah, that was on the 11th. When he came back, it was on the 11th. But on the 12th was when he came and picked up the people.
It was on the 12th that he came and picked these people up.
Mm-hmm.
And it was his own vehicle that he brought to take these people away?
It was his own vehicle. He brought 2 pickups, 1 bus.
And where were the ECOWAS soldiers at the time this was happening?
At the time he got there, they all escaped. In fact, at one point, the Ghanaians, because when we went, that's something I forgot, there were a few Ghanaians among us. So the Ghana guy came, I think there were 3 Ghanaians soldiers. They came after the people spoke that thing to them. They said, what are you doing among the crown people? You want to die? That's how they took their people away. In fact, that time, some were brought by Edwin Zilli. He was at LPRC. Zilli bribed them, and they took Zilli and his sister away from among us. That they too were safe. Just before the men could come to take the people, they took Zilli and his family.
He saw Zilli giving them money?
Zilli gave them money, yes.
And at the time they were taking these people out of the port, you said there were ECOWAS guards on duty at the port?
ECOWAS guards were on duty at the port. In fact, the moment Prince Johnson left, they came back. So we said, well, you people are not manning us. You see, and we can't be here, the men be extracting people from here. Why? You people watching.
Besides Larry Milton, the late, who you say accompanied Prince Johnson, who were some of the other personalities of the INPFL that you may have remembered that came along with With Prince Johnson at the port.
Matthew Bear, the man who got to come and see Big now. He was one of those that accompanied Prince Johnson.
He said the man who what?
Was he holding arms?
He was holding arms. He was in uniform. In fact, later, the day I left the port, he was the commander at the gate. The main Freeport gate.
He was the commander at the gate?
Yes.
Is there anybody else that you may have remembered?
No. There was a guy with the cow tail, you know, and like he was a medicine man pointing at people and know this one was fighting, and he would tell you, get up, but I don't know his name.
He's still alive? You can see him?
No,
you have not seen him since?
No, I haven't seen him.
And after those people were taken away and didn't come back, what did General Quenu say to you all?
Well, I mean, for us, we never had any voice. There was no way to meet Quenu directly. You see, it was Gay that was between. In fact, at one point, Gay even brought food for the people. Oh, God.
So would you say that Major Gay acted in a way that was protective?
Yes.
Of
Yes.
your lives?
Yes.
And but he was not around, or he was around when the people were being taken away?
No, he was not around. The only time we encountered him was when the first group was taken away. That when the noise, because the first group was taken away, like everybody wanted to leave the fence, you know, and the Guineans were blocking us. When he left the office and came, that we started explaining the story to him before he got involved.
And afterwards, when it came for the second group, where was General Quenu?
That time, General Quenu was almost leaving. It was Dongo Yaro now. General Quenu, because that time I have left the port out in Lokintown. You know, but I say I got a friend who and I entered the place together and I left them there. One Tommy so he now a taxi driver in Monrovia. He was there and they took all of them. It was when Dongo Yaro hired him hostage and he brought them back.
Did he explain to you what happened when they took him away?
He said when they went, they took all their shares and everybody knelt down in front of the late General Vani. And so he was just waiting for order from his boss to start execution. It was when he called him and said, don't touch any of the people, make sure they all return here safely. That when they started putting them back on the bus.
And they brought them back to the port?
Yeah, brought them back to the
port. At that time, it was General Dogonyaro who was in charge?
Yeah, Dogonyaro was in charge now.
And where was General Quenu then?
General Quenu had left. Because he was the first commander after Dogonyaro replaced him.
He had left. What date was this?
I can't remember. This date was in, I think, early October, but I can't forget. I can't remember the day.
Early October?
Oh, yeah. 1990.
And through your ordeal at the port, you never had the chance to meet any other officer or so from Prince Johnson Base or any others who were accompanying him?
Well, like no. The only time I met one was the time I was coming out, like they were looting the condensed milk, you know, warehouse. And he asked me, he said, oh, my friend, where you going? I said, I'm trying to go out because they're shooting. You know, I didn't tell him that I was from where, you know, they brought the people from the barracks. I said, they're shooting too much, so I'm going. He said, no, let go, let me pull you in. So you were told something about me. I said, no, I'm a friend. So he said, okay, you can go. I didn't want to encounter that way.
And do you remember him? No. Don't remember him? No. So after General Dogonyaro, but you say you were not there when General Dogonyaro brought those people back. You had already left.
I was not there. I was only told by my friend who they also carry here.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
You said at one point in time you used to check the money of this fighter who used to go and loot. Can you remember how much you used to check today on an average?
Now 150,000.
Every day?
Every day. So the least I check at now is 89,000.
And he used to give you some?
Yeah, sometimes he gave me $500 and I found food. I said, okay.
Also, can you, I know you spent 2 days in a barracks before you were evacuated. Can you tell us what life generally was at the time Doe was killed? There are rumors that soldiers were in the streets and they were on a rampage. No Doe, no Monrovia.
It was very, very terrible. In fact, no Doe, no Monrovia at that time we have left. But it was very, very terrible from that night. In fact, at the checkpoint in Jalatown, an AFL soldier was shot in a wagon bus. AFL soldier that did his head knew. He was driving to the checkpoint, the guy just fired him and he pulled him down and took the bus.
And that happened, you said, down Jalata?
Jalatown, yeah. I was leaving Seatown.
Okay.
So, you know, when the thing happened, we started leaving Seatown to come to the barracks.
So the whole era was
Very, very terrible. Even people who were living in Matadi were leaving in their cars. People who were living around 10th Street were leaving. And, you know, so there was no control, absolutely no control.
No law and order.
No law and order.
The armed men.
Armed men all over the place, putting people on gunpoint, naked people, firing them.
Okay, thank you very much. You've given us so much information, contributed in a very valuable way to our work. Just the figures you call in terms of the money from the loot tells us how lucrative the war was, that people profiteer from the war and they benefited from their own loot. And then, of course, the operations of the INPFL across the breach. I want to thank you very much for coming and sharing with us. Is there any advice, recommendation, anything else you have on mind that you would like to share with the Commission before you leave?
Well, I don't have much. The only thing is that we all pray that the Commission be successful. Because we been understanding that other people say they will not appear for the Commission and it will not serve the country right. In fact, speaking besides the NGOT and the local chairman for the United Party for Grand Jide, and that is why I always told my people, it's better to speak the truth. Even if your brother is involved, let him go and say, I did it, and he must be forgiven. That's the only way Liberia will go forward.
Thank you very much. You may leave. Just take away.